My name is Kristian Grennfelt and I work in our global product development and innovation area. I work there with packaging development and industrial design questions, the interaction between our products and the humans. I will today talk about the observation study we did at our end customers, specifically cleaning ladies and cleaning workers. And then I will also talk about the insight that we made from this. And finally, I will talk about the Tork easy handling solutions that we have developed. But I would like to start with background. And that is that muscular disorder is common among cleaning workers. We see that a lot of people have this problem with pain and injuries in their muscles, and it could be in the neck, in the back, in the wrist, in the knees, and others. We have figures saying that as many as 75% of the cleaning workers experience these problems, and it's often related to specific movements or specific tasks. So it could be repetitive movements, it could be twisting, it could be lifting and carrying. And we then thought, what could we do to improve the ergonomics and efficiency in this handling? And as Sune said earlier, we are delivering 1 million packages every week. So it's quite a volume. So I mean, whatever improvement we can do, we want to make it as good as possible. So we then launched this observational study in order to identify how the package is being handled. So we basically went all the way from our production to the product is disposed and the package is disposed. And we then visited, in this initial study, 20 companies in 4 countries. It was in France, in Netherlands, in Germany, and in Sweden. We also visited different sectors, as you can see here. And as a main comment as well, I mean, these studies were about observing the end customers. And of course, at the end, we also asked questions. But as you will see, it's interesting when you observe something and when you ask something, you sometimes see some differences. I would then like to take you through an example. This could be an example customer. This is an office building. And mainly our Tork products are then, distributed at each end customer. You have the washrooms, of course, spread out throughout the offices. You could have paper for the small kitchens, etc. So our products need to be transported. And normally, if you look at this process, the products are arriving to an end customer, normally on a truck, and then it is transported to a central storage, what we call first storage. And here we have the transport package going in here. From this central storage, each transport package needs to be distributed throughout the end customer place. Normally you have what we call second storages on each level in the building. Or at this fair center, probably it's distributed throughout the fair. And what we see is that between these 2 storages, also all transport packages need to be carried, transported, lifted. And it's a lot of carrying. Of course, it depends. It could be short distances, it could be long distances, it could be through stairs, it could be elevators, it could be through doors. And of course, you have, since the washrooms are spread out, the products will be distributed as well. But as a summary, it was a lot of carrying and lifting, and actually it was more than we expected, I think. Looking further then at this process, in each second storage, of course, each package needs to be opened. And what we saw was that for taped packages, of course, you need a tool to open it, normally a knife. Asking people, they didn't think this was much of a problem, but of course, observing them, it took some time, and if you didn't have a knife, you had to get one, etc. As well, these storage rooms are rather small, so of course it's limited storage space. So normally it could look like this. You have a package on the different shelves, and how do you get the product out of the package here? Of course, it's rather hard. You have to take the box out. So normally people have to put the products up on the shelves in the storage place. And afterwards, when the box is empty, of course, you have to flatten the box to save space as well. And also here you need to use a tool or a knife. And when you have the empty box, of course, someone needs to take care of this and transport it out again normally to the waste handling system. And normally that is positioned in the basement or quite some distance away as well. Of course, each customer looks different, but first I should say that this handling of the empty boxes, it's quite tricky, and for those of you also have tried to carry empty boxes, they're quite voluminous, and it can be a bit tricky to carry one or several of them some distance. And as a summary, at least, we have identified 5 steps which we saw as improvement areas. It was about carrying and lifting our packages. It was about opening them. It was about storing of products, unfolding of boxes, and finally the disposal of the packaging. And from this we made a list of what we call insights. Of course, this is where we start, both by observing and asking questions. So each package must be lifted and carried several times. 2 to 3 times it has to be lifted at least. It's difficult to carry more than one package at a time. So could we find a solution to carry more than one at a time? Some packages are hard to open. Specifically, it's the taped boxes. Storage rooms are usually small. So how can we do better storage in small rooms? Empty packages must be removed immediately. So we need to transport away the waste. And the distance between the storage rooms and the recycling are usually quite long. So when we're carrying away the waste. And it's difficult to carry empty and unfolded boxes. So what we then did was that, of course, we took this insight from the study, were brought back to our development teams and our industrial designers. And of course, we then had to think of a solution to make it more efficient and more ergonomic for our end customers. And as well, we try to focus on all the details in this. And also we're, of course, aiming that this should work in a global environment, meaning that it should work for people in different countries. And in order to illustrate this, we have developed 2 main solutions from this. And it is what we call the Tork Carry Pack, which you can see here. You will see more about it later. It's a plastic pack. And what we call the Tork Carry Box, which also is here. But in order to illustrate this better, I would like to show you a film. We have two different versions. One is that is glued when it's sealed. That was the one that you showed in the movie here. But of course, we also have boxes that are taped. As a summary, I would like to show you then the different solutions and keep in mind then the process of the different steps. So for carrying, we have these handles to carry it with one hand when you need to carry several, or we have boxes with two-hand solutions when you need to carry maybe one. And also we have this carry pack where you can carry one at a time. For opening, we have different solutions as you've seen. And just to give you an example of the detail, of course, when designing, this is just an overview of what we have done. Here you see the opening solution. I will demonstrate that in a second. But of course, in every detail like this one, here you should push your finger in. So of course, designing these dimensions, then we look into biometric data globally to see basically who has the biggest finger. I mean, it's about, and the data says it is the German male who has the biggest thumb. So then that dimension is used in designing this. It's 22 millimeter. So that is the background of this being 25 millimeters. And basically, I mean, for many it's a small detail, but of course still remembering it's 1 million boxes every week. It should work for everyone. And then the solution is that you push, grab, and then you pull. And then you open the box, so you don't need a tool. And when you empty the box, you have the same solution on the other side. Push, grab, and pull. And then you have the flat box. Now I maybe jumped ahead here, but that was at least about the opening and for the storage. Of course, then having on different shelves, we have at least on this carry pack here, we have an option to open on the side. So you open here, and then you could take out the products. So it's like a shelf-ready solution, so you don't have to put it on the shelf. And now I was quicker here again, but for flattening, of course, we have different options to do that without the tool. And then when you have this flat box and you need to carry it away, of course you get the nice handle. And then you can easily take a few packages at the same time. And it's into the detail, but it's funny at the office when we have some of these boxes without these carry handles, people complain to me. So when you get used to it, then you like it even more, I think. And it's all about these things you don't think of before as a problem for you. Finally, being out to the customers, which we do a lot, and I do a lot, I feel really proud and happy that a lot of the people like our solutions. And with 90% say that Tork Easy Handling facilitates their work. And we're also now launching this on several product segments. And it's also very important that this is a continuous improvement that we do together with our customers. Because now we're launching these solutions and we will continue to work in this area. And this was, of course, an overview, and more detail can be found in the report that you have received in the small boxes. I think that was about it.